This is the delayed week 2 video to go over the mission, vision, social responsibility, and strategic planning project that's due in just a few short days. I do apologize that the video took some time in order for me to load. I'm hopeful that you all were following the postings that were made on the BMGT 364 class main page, and that you have thoroughly read through the project description for the mission, vision, social responsibility, and strategic planning paper. What I'm going to do is, this will be a really quick video, but since it's being posted so late in week 2, but I just want to make sure that folks know what components need to be included. So I am positive, based on the postings I've seen and with you all working with the writing center person that's assigned to this class, that many of you have already gotten started. But here are some things I just want to make sure that folks are aware of. There should be 2 specific parts to your paper. You should select a pair of companies for the first part. So you'll select Jiffy Lube, and the question did come up in terms of, should it just be Jiffy Lube? Can it be Jiffy Lube International? Can it be one of the franchises? You can select a franchise if you want, or you can select a Jiffy Lube International. Either one is acceptable to me, just as long as you're spelling it out. Remember, the whole idea of effective management and leadership in this class is to make sure that you are spelling out, defining what it is that you're covering. And so as long as you spell it out so that I know that's exactly where you're coming from, then we should have no problem. So in the first section, you're going to pick a pair, Jiffy Lube, either International or one of the franchises, and either All Tune and Lube, Pep Boys, Valvoline, or Precision Tune Auto Care. Now you'll need to make sure that you use the websites, annual reports, any other reliable sources that you can find to get information about the mission statement. Some of you asked, what happens if I don't see the mission statement? Well, that tells you something right there. If the mission statement isn't there, the discussion we've been having last week and even some of this week about the need to have a clear mission statement and to have a clear vision statement, what that does for a company, how that allows managers to manage in a focused manner. So you can talk from that perspective, and you should. Make sure that if you do have the mission and the vision of the 2 companies, that you go through a well-reasoned analysis. And what that basically means is that you've identified the mission, vision statements of each of the companies, and you also have defined what makes an effective mission and vision statement, and you're doing a correlation there. So you'll go through, make sure you hit each of the points here in your syllabus. So you want to make sure you discuss the qualities of each based on what you know in your textbook and other resources have told you about what's an effective mission statement. You want to assess whether it clearly defines the organization, provide at least 2 recommendations to improve the mission statement, and tell me why. Don't just say this is what you do, but make sure you support everything that you're putting out there. In part 2, you're going to go back to that pair that you selected, Jiffy Lube, either franchise or international, and then you are going to specifically pick one of them. You may use either Jiffy Lube or another company, the other company, and then you're going to focus specifically on the area of social responsibility, the SWOT, a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threat analysis, where you define 2 strengths, 2 weaknesses, 2 opportunities, and 2 threats each. Don't just identify them. Explain them. Make sure that it's easy to understand what that strength is and why it's a strength, what the weakness is and why it's a weakness, etc. Based on the concepts, provide recommendations for how you would turn a weakness into a strength and how you would turn threats into opportunities. Make sure that you have a very clear introduction to your paper. In other words, what is it you're going to cover in the body of the paper? Make sure you have a very clear and focused conclusion that basically says, this is what I covered, this is what I went through. I am encouraging you to follow the formatting guidelines here. I do take off points if you don't double space, if you don't use 12-point font, if you don't stay between the 5 and 6 pages in length, which excludes your title page and reference page. Good managers, efficient managers, learn how to be succinct. They learn how to be clear. They learn how to be focused. And so it's very important that you do that. Make sure you use APA formatting for your in-text citations and your reference page. You are expected to whatever reference you use in your reference section. You've got to make sure you use that as part of the in-text citations. In other words, don't have a page of references if you don't have the in-text citations to accompany them. Make sure you are required to use the company website. So the two companies you select, you must use their websites. In addition, you can use your textbook, and you should use your textbook, and other highly respected business publications such as Newsweek or Time, things along that nature. You certainly cannot use the National Enquirer. That's not a highly respected business publication, though it may prove to be interesting reading. You can use academic journals. You can use anything that has a reference, a source that can be validated. Don't use wikis because those are not validated. Those are just people putting their thoughts out there. Submit your paper in the assignment folder in WebTyco by the deadline. The deadline is the end of week 2. That means by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, May 26. The class is designed so that if you don't submit by that date, it is considered a late submission. Late submissions have to come through me. You have to reach out to me to see if I'll even accept the late submissions. And recall in the first video, I reviewed with you the fact that I really don't accept late submissions. It only puts you further behind in the class. It's really important to stay on track. I will assure you that the remainder of the videos, there will be one for the group project, one on the leadership paper that's due in week 4, and one on the final case. I am actually going to record all of those on the Memorial Day holiday and post all of them up in the conference area. Actually, it'll be in the course content area so that you all will have access to them early. So you can look forward to all those videos being posted early. Again, I apologize for the delay. It was just unavoidable. Here, I had to wait until I had some new technology. I had to go out and buy a new microphone, and the first one I bought didn't work, so this one is working properly. If you have any questions, you all know how to reach out to me. Have a wonderful Memorial holiday. Please make sure your papers are turned in on time. All right? Thanks. Have a great weekend and a great rest